podcast. We've got knitting and spinning. I have socks to talk about, people. Life is good.
And I, of course, am all about Project Craft. Find out what's in these little notebooks.
Yes. And why are we talking about shoulder pads? What's up with that?
You never know.
It could be for any reason.
That's a great episode, though.
It was.
And I think you'll enjoy it, too.
That's right. All this and more on the Knitworthy podcast. Hello, and welcome to the Knitworthy podcast. Mom.
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm doing great, actually.
You are?
Yes, I'm up earlier than normal, which isn't saying much.
You're doing that because of me, because I have a knitting lunch date with a couple of friends from church. So Mom very kindly obliged to wake up earlier than normal and record with me. So have you even had coffee yet?
I've had a couple sips. I did at least make sure I get some coffee down me.
Thank
but
goodness.
If I sound a little incoherent, you'll have at least one explanation.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
are you wearing anything knitted today?
You know, my feet feel so cozy in socks.
Oh, good.
And actually, they're socks that you made for me, I'm pretty sure.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. They're
Let me see.
Self-striping.
Oh, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the patterned ones. Do you happen to remember the yarn?
It's Knit Picks something or other.
How do you like Knit Picks sock yarn?
You know, depending on which ones it is.
Which one is your favorite? How about that?
I don't know. It's been a while
Put her on
since
the stop.
I know.
On the spot.
The one that I can knit with.
Right. My favorite is the one that's in my possession, right?
That's right. Exactly.
Not the one that's in my shopping cart.
That's right.
How about you? Are you wearing a knitted thing?
I am. This is my In Full Bloom cardigan.
I love it.
Thank you. It's called In Full Bloom because the pattern had a embroidered flower going right up here. And I decided I don't need flowers right in here. And so
I'm with you on that. Though back in the 80s, I had a sweater that had flowers all over it.
Did you really?
Because you probably don't remember because you were so young.
Yeah.
And it was like these sweaters that were like Christmas sweaters, but you wore them all year long.
Yeah.
And they were like, I mean, really, mine was gorgeous.
Uh-huh.
Seriously. But it was flowers all over.
Was it like a mauve?
I had one that had autumny colors.
Yeah.
And it was a long lane sweater with shoulder pads.
Sweet.
I didn't knit then, but I still appreciated the knits. I kept it for the longest time until I think a few people mocked me.
Oh, no.
I decided maybe it's time to repurpose it. Now that I'm a knitter, I'm like, why didn't I, now that I know what you can do with old sweaters.
Right. Bags.
Can you imagine an old 80s sweater? And it was wool and everything.
Oh my goodness.
If I could go back in time.
If I could turn back time. Not talking about love. We just want the knitwear.
Right? Or the styles or the shoulder pads.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got you so off track. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Sweaters. You're wearing a sweater.
I'm wearing a sweater. You're wearing socks. I don't know which is my favorite Knit Picks sock yarn because I haven't knit with a lot of Knit Picks sock yarn.
That would be a fun thing to find out from people because we do order from Knit Picks.
Yes, we do.
So if you are a sock knitter and you have a favorite Knit Picks yarn, you should let us know.
Yeah, I've heard good things about Felici, which I think that those socks might be Felici. I don't know. And I know they have Stroll, which is another sock yarn of theirs. But you know, I'm not up to date on Knit Picks yarns. I purchased the Needle Keepers from Knit Picks, but
is that where you got them?
Yeah, but that was the first time I've been on Knit Picks website in a while. So
well, it's dangerous.
It really is. Because the yarn is so affordable.
Yes.
And you say, well, a sweater for $60, that's not bad.
I know, right? And they also have such a great assortment of colors and many things. So
they do.
That's my problem. So I want to get all the colors.
Right.
That's not a problem at all.
No.
I would like to mention, and I don't mean to ignore the many various venues that people can view our podcast on.
Yeah.
So we talk about Ravelry quite a lot. You can't view our podcast there, but we have our group there. We are on iTunes, and so thank you for those of you who subscribe through iTunes. Spread the word. Leave a review.
That's right.
And we are on YouTube
Yes.
also. And it seems like these various communities, Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and iTunes, Apple products, all that. I'm throwing random words around now. IBM.
Viscosity.
Sanctuary, I don't know. But all the different ways that you can view social media, they are kind of like islands unto themselves.
Yeah,
And
sometimes
so
they are.
they're like, not everybody is into every medium. And so there's like...
Who has time?
No, there is no time.
Oh my goodness.
Two Tangled Skeins did a list of knitting podcasts.
Yes.
Did you see that?
I did.
They listed us, thank the Lord.
Yeah, thank you very much for
Right?
doing that. Very sweet.
But it was huge.
yeah.
I mean, like, I had no idea that there were that many knitting podcasts.
Oh yeah.
But what I wanted to say, as I distract myself again all over the place, is that if you're viewing us through YouTube, I'm trying to get better about actually, I didn't even realize until recently that you could respond to comments that people leave. So there's probably a whole bunch of people who think, how rude. I talked to you and you didn't talk back. I talked to my phone when I read it, but
Yeah.
it doesn't get to the person that way.
No.
But from now on, if you leave a YouTube comment, which we would love you to do that, I will be talking to you. Just
And not just on, like verbally.
no mind waves going your way.
That's right.
But, when people chat with us, we are really trying to get to you. And once we realize that we can do this thing. So leave comments and we'd love chatting with you. And I don't always get into, I try and read what's in the Ravelry group, but I don't always get into responding there because I'm trying to do some of the other venues. Mm-hmm. But I love it when people leave comments, don't you?
Me too.
So I said all that to say, if you have a favorite Knit Picks yarn, leave a comment somewhere.
Yeah.
Let us know. It'd be really fun to find out what people like to use.
Absolutely.
Oh my word, what a tangent. It's going to be one of those, this is what happens when you wake me up too early.
I'm sorry. This is my fault.
You thought it couldn't get worse.
Oh gosh. Well, Mom, why don't you tell us what you're working on?
I'm working on, this week, I did my stripes.
You did your stripes.
My plan was to do a stripe a day,
Yeah.
which I did. That just feels good.
Yeah.
Feels relaxing to me. As for those of you who may be new to our podcast, I am a confirmed stockinette and garter stitch knitter.
Yes.
I can do other things. I'm not a lace knitter. I'm a small project person because I like to do many things. Mm-hmm. And so I committed to doing one stripe a day on my sock. And this is second sock, and I am on cuff. And I love these. And this is the yarn by Jinx.
Yes,
Jinx yarn.
Jinx yarns.
And it's one of her older Christmas patterns, which I'm sorry, but is that not adorable?
That is super cute.
Yeah, so adorable. Anyway, they've seen it many times, so I won't go on. But can we say
You
too
moved
much?
it into a bag, a different bag.
Yes, this is the bag that you gave me from, and you're going to remember her name better than I am.
Stephanie from the Rusted Stitch.
Yes, I love it. So yeah, it feels so cozy.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'm going to take it on my trip.
Oh, good.
Though part of me thinks, I hope I don't lose it. I don't think I will.
Well, if why would you be concerned that you'd lose it?
Because you know how it is with anything that you're really that in love with.
Yeah.
That's always the thing you're going to lose or break.
Oh,
I broke my favorite pan this week.
I know you did. I'm sorry.
It's a Pampered Chef bar pan, and I use it for everything. And it was
Basically.
so nicely seasoned, so you didn't need to spray.
Like oil or
You
anything
didn't
on
need to
it.
coat it with anything because it was seasoned so nicely that you could just cook anything on it, and it turned
right.
out beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
This one, a day I had 4 hours of sleep, and decided that I could do something that I really shouldn't have done,
Oh.
which was put something back one-handed.
2 hands, Dee. We use 2 hands to carry things.
Yeah, 4 hours sleep makes you a kindergartner, so 2 hands, definitely.
4 hours sleep makes you a kindergartner. Oh man. Well, is that all that you've been working on this week that is finished?
Well, I have a lot spinning. How are we doing this? We didn't talk about this ahead of time. Are we going to keep spinning separate or together?
We can do it however you want.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of like patterny kinds of projects, but I did do some spinning,
Which I love that.
Now, I have really debated how is the best way to show you these things, because when they're all twisted up, they don't look like much. But we have kind of funny lighting today because it's very overcast. So I don't know if you'll really be able to catch the warmth of this one, but it's a beautiful golden with some lavender highlights. And it is, I spun it as a Navajo ply chunky. If I keep it moving, is that better for you guys? It's a moving target. See, I'm trying to see what's the best side to present. I have no idea. I haven't done this before, you can tell. Anyway.
51 episodes. It's our first skein of yarn.
I know, right? And the camera angle's weird today. So how am I doing this? This? No. This?
Yes.
Where is the camera?
There you go.
Anyway, I love it. There we go. That's not too bad. So I did it as a Navajo ply. I love it. And I am in the process of knitting up samples. My idea was these are all yarns that are going to Peggy they'll be at Fiber Fest. And so I did more than that, but I didn't want to show 52 yarns. I didn't really spin 52 yarns this week though.
That would have been amazing if you had. You'd be like, super spinner, dun, dun, dun.
I could have recorded it and done it fast and it would have been like 1 million views.
Right.
Yeah. But what I wanted to show you, what I thought is when I show you a yarn like this, I'm sure it's like a snoozer. You go like, okay, well, that's nice. But what I wanted to show you is what I decided that we need swatches of things so that you can get a vision for, and the coloring is off, don't you think?
It is.
I hate that. Let me see if I can get more in front of it, if that helps at all. Yeah, the color's off. It's a very warm, buttery, straw-like color. But when you get a knitted sample, you get a sense of how it would knit up. Now this swatch, as you know when you're knitting gauge swatches, they are somewhat representative of what you're going to get. But obviously, unless you are going to wear a pot holder, it's not really. So like if you were knitting a sweater out of this or a hat, these stripes are going to be very thin because you're going to be having obviously more stitches.
Right.
But it does give you an idea that with some of these that have the very subtle variation that you think, oh, how boring, they still do. Now, I would say in person, Brianne, these stripes are not as clearly defined.
Right.
They are looking more stripe-like here, but they are very soft and gently. They are much more, what would you say, muted or subtle?
Yeah, I think muted and subtle are
Yeah.
good descriptive words.
So I'm in the process. I'm not going to do samples of all the yarns because that does use up yarn.
Right. Hello.
You know? But I had done another beautiful green one. I think I showed it last week. And I did a sample of this one.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah.
Now I thought it's pretty, but look at that. Does that not make you go, oh yeah, now I can imagine that?
Right. Let me knit with that, please.
Right. So what I did was I thought about, these home stores where they have all of the samples that you look for, like when you're looking for fabric. 'Cause we all go furniture shopping all the time.
I do.
Yeah.
That's my whole plan for all tomorrow. Furniture shopping.
Exactly. Or I was going to say, like when you go into the hosiery department, you're looking at nylons. Who wears nylons anymore?
Back to the 90s for you.
Shoulder pads and nylons.
Oh, that's our episode name.
Shoulder pads and nylons. Yeah. We are current here.
Yes, we are.
What I did was I created and that's where these samples are going to go. And this is a swatch. What do you call it?
That's a swatch.
But it's swatches. There should be a name for this setup.
Yeah.
But a swatch sampler, I don't know. And what I did was I printed out these cards just on 8.5 by 11 paper, and I actually sewed the samples on. And then the idea is this will be hanging so that people can go through and say, okay, well, I love the alpaca, but how does alpaca knit up? They can actually look and feel the sample and see the drape. And I put on here what size needles I used.
Brilliant.
And then they can go and flip through all the different samples. Now, for instance, I was going to go to one that's a little harder to tell. So like some of the more contrasted yarns, like this, for instance, this is a slubble crepe. And so you get these bubbles of slubble. Would you like that too? That's a good name. So these are the yarns that are have beautiful thick and thin areas in them. And so you wonder, how will that knit up? Now this slubble was done in highly contrasted colors. There are some that are done very muted. And so I'd like to eventually get samples of the different types of spins, but done with high contrast and low contrast, so you can kind of see. But what you get an idea of is how soft and squishy it is, what size needles it's knitted on, so you can tell, kind of what gauge you're working at. And you get a sense of how intrusive will the slubbles be into what you're knitting. And this is another example of how you have a lot of slubbles on this smaller swatch, but on a bigger piece, the slubbles are going to be much more spaced out, so you just get little hints of texture. So that way you can tell if you're wondering what something's going to look like. I'm going to pull up another one. Here is super, now here we go from the other end of the spectrum, which is super subtle. Maybe so subtle it may not show up, but this is a very soft tonal, and you can hardly even see the little differences in color on this one.
I want to have a sweater out of that.
Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, I mean, hand spun is really just, it can be so many things. It can be highly textured or not as highly textured. Look at the ombre effect on this one, where it goes from the very dark into very light, and we allowed the spinning to just show off and showcase that. Now that is what's really difficult to tell when something's all skeined up. Mm-hmm. You're just going to see a bit of this and a bit of this and a bit of this, and they're all going to be mixed up. It's not until you knit it that you see it's a beautiful ombre effect. So what I did was I am going to be posting these swatch cards on our website.
Yes.
Because there are people who enjoy keeping their swatches. Brianne reminded me of that. Mm-hmm. And here's my thought. If you want to do this at home, I would do an empty card up here, and then I would take one of those trouser hangers that has the clips, mm-hmm. and I would clip the trouser hanger to this, and I would just hang it in my craft closet. And then it would be available. It wouldn't get all munched, and they could just hang. You could even do it by type of swatches that you've done or whatever. Mm-hmm. It'd be an easy way to store it if you're worried about storing it. It also could go in a box too. But I mean, it just, to me, I just love, I don't know, I want to wear it.
It'd be a fabulous necklace.
Earrings even, yeah. So this is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but this is really what I'm doing for when we go to these shows with Peggy. I want to eventually send her samples of every type of yarn I do in a whole wide range of colors. It's like, here's an orange. Not everybody's an orange person, but look at the lovely tonal aspect of that orange. Mm-hmm. Isn't that pretty?
That is very
and some
pretty.
people would look at that orange yarn and go, oh my goodness, that's horrible. But it's really lovely when it's knitted up. So I think it'll be a way for people to visualize better. How are you at visualizing?
It really depends on the yarn.
Does it?
Yeah.
When you look at a row of yarn, do you immediately see, like some people can say, oh, I see that as a sweater, or they can totally visualize what it's going to look like.
Like I said, it really depends on the yarn. And sometimes I look at a yarn and I go, oh, I know that wants to be a shawl, or that wants to be a sweater, or that wants to be. And then sometimes I look at a yarn and go, what on earth is anybody could knit out of that.
Yeah.
And not because it's ugly, but just because it's has a texture to it on its own, or, you know, it has, you know, it's so chunky, you know, that I just look at it and in my own limited mind and limited experience as a knitter, even though I've been knitting for, you know, 11, 12 years, you know, I just kind of go, wow, it's going to take somebody else to figure out what to do with that.
Yeah.
You know.
And some of the really interesting textural yarns are really fabulous in a woven piece because they just add a little, use it in little bits.
Yes.
And, you know, you're not going to want a whole sweater out of that purple contrast slubble crepe because that would be a whole lot of something.
Yes, it would.
But a little cowl around your neck could be lovely.
And I think that's the great thing about those swatches is it shows the potential of the yarn.
And, you know, not everybody's going to like every kind of yarn, but it's nice, you know, you want people to get yarn they're in love with. So.
Definitely. Wonderful. Well, you've been busy.
I have.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to get to the end of my row here, and then I'm going to show you what I've been knitting on.
I'd love to see it.
Because I have been busy this week.
Well, while you're getting to the end of your row, how
Yeah.
about if I do a show and tell of Are You Kidding Me? We haven't done that in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Can anyone see that my hands, I've been scrubbed them several times, but I am inked up. And I had a slight mishap with one of my favorite fountain pens.
No.
It was a TWSBI and it has a plastic barrel, and I had read that you have to be careful putting the cap on when you, they call it posting the cap, when you put the cap on the back of your pen while you're writing. Because it's really easy on those to get them too far in, and it's been cracking the thing, and that it cracks the case that the ink is held in. And those are like really, they hold quite a lot of ink, and I began to write with it and I thought, I have a lot of ink on my hands. And it took me probably, 3 minutes to figure out where it was coming from, and I saw this big old ginormous crack.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, so one less lovely fountain pen, but it was in a beautiful blue ink. Just saying.
If you're going to have to dye your hands,
I know.
at least it's a pretty color.
Get a color you'll love.
Absolutely. Well, I have a couple things to show you. The first thing that I want to show are these socks. So do you remember last week we did as our pattern highlight, one of the pattern highlights, the vanilla is the new black?
Oh.
And
oh, wow. You really are rocking on that.
I know. I was so excited to get to the heel that I really put some mileage on this sock. So here is the sock.
Isn't that pretty?
And here is the heel. Do you see that?
Okay, I love it. How do you like it?
I love it. And I slipped it on and it fits like a dream.
Oh, okay. And how is the fit different than, let's just use a fish lips kiss heel or a traditional heel?
I think that it really kind of cups the heel very nicely. Let me show you.
Are you talking about the bottom of your heel or the back of your heel?
The back of the heel.
Okay.
Because look at how, do you see how it comes out from the back? So a traditional heel flap would be coming straight down, and then you turn the heel and it come out this way. So this, you're building up the back of the heel, which is, what your foot looks like anyways.
And is it ribbing there? What is that?
It's ribbing.
So that's going to actually conform more to your heel.
Yes. And then you do a traditional heel turn.
Okay.
After you finish. And then because of the magic of the designer, you just end up with the exact amount of stitches that you need. And so you don't have a gusset, you don't have anything like that. You just
Can you show it again? The full angle view there.
So here is the back of the heel right here, and you can see the ribbing.
And how well was the pattern written for that heel?
So well written.
So it wasn't hard to follow? Or...
The first round, I was kind of like, okay, I'm just going to trust that what you're doing is correct. That the person who designed the pattern knows what they're doing. And so you just kind of have to take that leap of faith and trust. And then by the next time you did an increase, I was like, oh, I see what you're doing here. Okay. And so it made it that much easier.
Right. Good.
And so there's a little chart that you follow, and that's it.
Good.
Yes,
So you recommend it.
I do.
And how does it, in all the heels you've done, what ranking would you give it? Or will you have to wait till you wear it for a while?
You know, I'd like to hold off judgment until I get a chance to have 2 socks on my feet and get a chance to wear them for a couple times. But I really...
Because that's the real test.
Yes.
Because if the ribs hang together nicely, that would be a wonderful thing. But if they stretch out, that's not so good.
Right.
Because you could end up with a lot of heel fabric.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. But you have to feel this yarn because...
Did our Kathy decide to do it too?
She did.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she's already on the 2nd sock.
Oh my goodness.
I know. She is a fast sock knitter.
Wow.
I know. So this yarn is one that I've been holding on to for forever. It's one of my 8 oldest skeins.
Good.
This is Pagewood Farm hand-dyed sock yarn in the Yukon base in the forest camo colorway. And this is a merino bamboo nylon blend. There you go. And I just think it's so soft and lovely and cushy, and I think it's going to be a joy to be able to wear. So I'm very excited about these socks. Another thing that I've been working on is my Midas Touch scarf. I'm going to say right away that I do not care for this.
Aww. What part?
Well, you
don't like your results? You don't like the pattern? You don't like the yarn?
I don't like the yarn and I don't like the results. I first started by doing the yarn. It's a alpaca with a twist pheno. It's a lace weight yarn. And I first started the pattern with the yarn held single and did not care for it. I don't care for knitting with lace weight. I just don't. I don't have many lace weight skeins in my stash just because I don't feel comfortable. Fingering is really the smallest weight of yarn that I feel comfortable using. And then Dawn, Knit and Wolf, said, well, why don't you hold it doubled? Which I thought, that's a brilliant idea.
It is a brilliant idea.
But the thing is that I don't care for how it's turning out. It looks messy to me.
Oh,
and I understand because it's not blocked.
Oh, I don't
that's
think it
part
looks
of it.
messy.
It looks messy to me.
Okay, but what you're doing is you're looking at it, but you're not sharing it.
You can't see this? What's the problem?
They do not have vision through your eyeballs. So how about you show it to them and let them decide if it looks too messy.
Oh, my foot's stuck. Okay, well, the shoe comes off. And here you go. So this is with a lace weight yarn held doubled.
See, I don't have a problem with that.
No.
But you want it to be really, what were you hoping
I
for?
was hoping for something a little bit more crisp.
Yeah,
and
it's not crisp.
No, it's not.
But it's still lovely.
It is lovely.
Sophie really wants your spot.
She really does. It's a good spot. What can I say? That's why I picked it.
For those of you who are new, we have dogs behind us because it's the only way they don't bark during an episode.
Yeah. So,
what are you going to do?
I think I'm going to rip this out, and I'm going to, if you would like the yarn for like plying with,
oh, great. Yeah.
then I will give it to you.
Great.
Because
I love it.
I'm not in love with this, and I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on something that I really don't love.
So would you, are you going to instead try maybe find a fingering weight yarn to go with it someday that you like?
Yeah. I'm not saying that I'll never knit this pattern again. I'm just saying that I don't want to right now.
Right.
Especially not with that yarn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Results right here.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be stashing down, not stashing up. But.
And this I have in my bag that I got from a kit that Dana of Unwind did. And this is from Whimsy Stitches at Etsy. And
Very cute.
I like this bag a lot. It's a very well made bag, and I like that the interior is solid. It makes it easy to find things. I don't have to, try and look through a pattern to try and find what I need. So that's what I've been working on. I have some finished objects. Do you have anything finished?
I'd rather go for it.
Okay.
I have things, but it's all for other parts of the podcast.
Okay. So I finished my Sockhead hat. This is the 8th Sockhead hat.
Oh my goodness.
Which is a gift for a friend for Christmas. I'm not going to put it on because I have my hair done today. Hello. You're welcome. I did that just for you.
You're welcome. Did you change your underwear for them too?
I did. I showered. I brushed my teeth.
What?
I put on fresh clothes.
She is so fancy.
I know. Just for you guys because I love you. So this turned out beautifully. It's in Malabrigo sock, and it's just the Sockhead hat pattern. This is my 8th one. I'll probably take a little break from Sockhead hats for a little bit.
Okay.
Just so I can focus on other things. But I'll probably, you know me, I'll go back to the Sockhead. I always do.
It's a new obsession.
Yeah. But, there are
When was
people
your
who have done
first-
like 22.
Wow. When was your first Sockhead hat? How long have you been knitting them?
I think since last summer.
That's what I was thinking. It's been like a year or less.
Yeah, it's been less than a year.
Sockhead hats.
Yeah. I've been, just get them done. Get them done.
Gabby Knits keeps trying to get me into doing one. So someday, Gabby, I might do it.
And the next thing that I finished, I've been quite productive. I finished my hand spun socks.
Oh, I love them.
And
love.
I love these.
How do they feel?
So good. I put them on. I finished them while I was at Peepa's house yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
That's Mom's mom. And she was so excited that I finished a sock while I was there.
I'm going to get it close up so they can see the finished effect. It's
Absolutely.
so gorgeous. Love.
Yes.
Now, how would you describe how they feel? Are they a firm sock? Are they a floppy sock? Are they...
I wouldn't say that they're floppy. They're a little bit more on the firm side. I did knit them intentionally to be more firm because I would like for them to last more than, one wearing. And I am hard on socks, and so I wanted to make sure that I had, some good usage out of them. And what I did was I decided to do the top in a 1x1 rib, and I'm really pleased with my decision to do that because I think that'll hold up the sock really nicely.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. And so,
love it. And your
and
fiber
nice and
was
stretchy.
from who again?
It was from Kitty Mine Crafts.
Okay, that's right.
On Etsy. And I think I might put in a special order with her to see if she will do another superwash merino with nylon possibly blend for me, because I like her colorways that she does.
Yeah, she has beautiful colors.
Yeah, and her fiber was so well prepared. It was so easy to spin.
Good.
And it was just a pleasure from start to finish.
Yay.
So I think I might be contacting her to do a special order. So yeah, but I finished these at Peepa's, and she was like, put them on. So I had to take off my other socks and put on these socks. And
Did you make her try them?
No,
No?
she didn't want to wear them. But she made me do a little fashion show. She's like, now walk around. And so I did. It was like, a little girl with an Easter dress,
Right.
twirling, and yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so it was good. But, she's seen these from the time that I started them until the time I finished them. I did them in about 3 weeks.
Wow.
So,
Good job.
yeah, thank you. So that's what I finished. Hooray, hooray. Is there anything else that you want to talk about of things that we finished?
I think my stuff fits into other categories. So.
Okay. Have you gilded the lily?
I did.
I would love to hear.
Okay, I did not gild the lily with yarn or fiber because I have my studio full of things I'm working, that need to be spun up in there. So
Yes.
I'm not looking to add to that stash, but I did make a couple purchases that I really love that are more leaning toward the artistic side of things.
And organizational.
Organizational. And the thing is that when we are gathering yarn or art supplies or whatever it is that's part of our hobby passions, you can end up with a big mess. And so having things organized doesn't always feel better.
Yes.
I think so too.
Yes.
So I had a box that all of my colored pencils were in, and these are colored pencils that I got when I was first in probably in my college years for an art class.
Right.
And I've added a few to them, but not many. But they were in a box, and just I would grab them out of there, and it's not ideal trying to go through a whole box. And I tried rubber banding color groups together, and I just couldn't maintain that. So I found this I think it's called Global Arts case. It comes in black, it comes in a denim, and it comes in this rose color. I don't know, does that look rose to you?
It's like coral to me.
Yeah, it kind of is more corally to me too. It's a dual case. Here, I'll show this side first. You can see 2 cases that zip, and there's one zipper, so it's not like one of those double zip things. There's one zipper per side, and all of my pencils are in here.
Yay!
And it's basically a wide strip of elastic. Let me get closer so I can show. It's a wide strip of elastic, and so the elastic expands to accommodate however many, I've got these upside down, don't I? To accommodate however many pencils you want to put in each one. I grouped it by color groups so I could find it easier. But guess what I thought?
What did you think?
Do you know what else would fit in here?
What?
Crochet hooks.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Or DPNs.
DPNs? Well, I don't know. Maybe, yeah, the elastic's pretty tight as long as you don't stretch the elastic out.
Yeah.
But yeah, DPNs would work. So there are, sometimes there's crossover use in these things. Now, I don't know if you could fit interchangeable needles and then wrap the cords around. I don't know. There's some possibilities here. But I will put the price right here because I forgot to look that up. So you know kind of what price range it's in.
And if you'll give me the link to it, then I can link to it on the show notes.
Let's do
knitworthypodcast.com.
We will do that. And we get nothing for doing this. We don't have a Amazon affiliate position, but this is Global Art. Is the name of the brand.
Okay.
And so I really like it so far. In fact, I decided to get another one for my watercolor pencils. I just think that picking this up and going, because I don't sit at a desk to do things.
Right.
So I take it to a couch or a chair or my bed or whatever. So it's much easier to grab this than grab a big old hunkin' box. And I think this would be easy to tuck in a project bag.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's one thing that I love this week. And the reason why I got it was because I want to take some art supplies with me along with my knitting needles when I go on my trip. This bag is called this is Dr. Ion. I don't know. Both of my purchases are from
She didn't name this product.
I didn't.
Okay.
Both of these products are found on Amazon.
Okay.
I have my free Prime membership, or my free Prime shipping, because I'm a Prime member.
Yes.
And so I always do free shipping, so might as well make use of that. So this is another double unit case. I'm going to get closer because this is black, so it's going to be a little harder to see. And it is thicker. I will compare it. The black case is thicker, obviously, and a little bit bigger around. Not by much, but a little bit. And what I liked about this one is, first of all, you have clips. So you could use a carabiner and attach it to something if you wanted to, or attach a shoulder strap. I don't know if you wanted a really small purse. One side has this setup. Now, I know a lot of people are taking arts on the road. They want to do their journaling or they want to do whatever. And so there's all sorts of little bits and pieces, as you know, that you collect when you're doing these kinds of things. So for me, I put my fountain pen set up in here. So I have extra inks. I bought these bottles that usually, that usually hold, things like essential oil drops and stuff. My inks are in here so I can re-ink my fountain pens. And I put in this little bit, I put some playing cards that I've wrapped with washi tape.
That's a good idea.
So I have washi tapes with me and they go in here. I'm not sure what I'm putting in this one. I might put my Zentangle cards. Then on this side over here is a bigger envelope style with a Velcro. And I've got scissors and all sorts of things in here and a sharpener. Lots of room there. On the other side, I have my fountain pens, of which there is an empty loop because I broke one. This is like a page attachment in it. And so there's room for 4 pens. And then you have, opposite that, you have this mesh zipper bag and a big envelope-y space here. And then underneath the pen flap is this larger area where I have more pens, but you could actually fit, a small notebook in here or whatever. So now my thought for me, I'm going to be using it for bringing along, it's like a little mini desk for me, and it will carry all my fountain pen things. But you can see there's a lot of little doodads. You wouldn't want to just put them in a Ziploc baggie because it'd be like trying to find things. It'd be too much of a big mess.
Right.
So this just keeps them more organized. This does have the double zip feature, which I like. And I also like it that when these are open and sitting in front of you, you don't have to do gymnastics to just turn a page to get the next item that you're needing. So I think this would make a fantastic, obviously it was meant for office supplies and things like that. It would be a great thing for a college student or someone who likes to be organized in their backpack or whatever, or in a student's room. But I also thought, call me crazy, but...
Crazy.
Right? But if you have a lot of fun knitting notions, I could totally see how fun it would be to outfit this with all of the wonderful things that you want to have for your knitting, and you can carry the notebook that you keep track of your projects in, or you do your tick marks or whatever. So it depends on how lavishly you like to have your notions accommodated. But,
yes.
I'll have links to this one when we do our podcast notes. But I also wanted to mention that I put a hang on here. I someday will be selling some of these because I have a few made up. But I decided to test out my own little dangly. I attached it to this side of the bag because this is the side that holds my fountain pens. And if you've ever had a bag with double zippers and it looks identical, how do you know which side to open?
And who has the time to waste opening up the wrong side of the bag?
Right. So that is what I'm using this one for. And also it just makes a nice way to grab hold of it without having to, get the little tiny, that's so much work to grab this.
Yeah.
This particular one has a little poppy on it and a little chain dangle and has a little glass bead. So someday I'll have these for sale, but for now I'm testing out to make sure they work well.
Good.
That is how I gilded the lily.
Excellent.
Lots of gilding.
Yes. Well, I gilded the lily last night.
What?
I did.
What did you do?
I ordered the Erin Condren Life Planner.
Planning and journal mania has hit us, has it not?
I know. Well, it was on sale.
Good.
And so I got it.
Is it still on sale?
It is.
For a period of time?
Yes. I don't know for how long.
Okay.
But
are you going to link it?
I will link to it.
Okay.
Yes, of course. I'm very excited about this. And I was showing my husband and he was like, this is good. So we're going to we have Cozy, C-O-Z-I, as an app that our family uses to help to sync our calendars, and we'll keep that going. But I just needed something to carry around with me. I have a hard time visualizing how busy I am.
Right.
If it's not on paper. And so I found myself...
Are you overbooking?
Overbooking and not allowing myself the chance to recharge because I have scheduled myself too much. And some people thrive under those conditions. I do not. I'm good for a little while, but then I'm like, I need my time to and rejuvenate.
If you can see it, you can block out time for that and make sure you don't book those times up.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good idea.
So I'm very excited. I immediately started looking at stickers on Etsy. So if you know of any good sticker sellers,
person,
I know,
all of a sudden is going to be doing glitter tape and stickers.
That's right.
Welcome to the dark side.
Well, and I found I've been looking on Pinterest at the way people use their Erin Condren planners, and I found that very helpful. And there were even I pinned on Pinterest an example of someone who uses it more simplistically. Not covering the whole entire thing with glitter tape.
Yeah.
But
some people really go all glam and glitz and glitter on theirs.
And I'm very impressed with those people. I probably won't use mine like that though. Right. But I showed Brian one that was very beautiful, and the person had put a lot of time into it. And he goes, "That's overwhelming to me." I was like, "It's okay," but just that's the way some people like to do it.
And that's the fun thing about these. About the journaling and the planning communities.
Yes.
They really seem to embrace people who have all different styles and all different ways of doing it. And I think that's the way we should approach our crafting life. Is don't feel pressured to do what somebody else is doing. Just because Brianne's knit 1,000 Sockhead hats, you don't have to.
You don't. It's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings.
I think we should all just embrace who we are and do what brings us joy. And if this brings you joy, yay.
That's right. I have in my Etsy cart a beautiful sign that says, "Do more of what makes you happy." And I think, I'm trying to embrace that in my life, not to just, fill up my days with things that I have to do, but to make sure that I am, taking time to do things that are enriching to my soul and enriching to my life. And, so I have on my list of things to do for today that I really want to read.
Oh, that's
I just want to take
it should be on
15, 20 minutes and read a book, It's so easy to forget things. I love to read.
And the thing is we had talked before when I was talking about I'm sorry, I'm so hot this morning. My glasses are like sliding off my face. But we had talked before when I was going through like how am I going to journal and plan, and as I needed to be more organized. I'm doing a little bit of planning and that realization I had that I am not just a to-do list. That if I want my written journal, my written planner to reflect who I am, it should be more than just a to-do list. And so that is where that realization of what do I want to accomplish, setting out, and I'm not a big setting huge life goals person. I mean, I'm fine if you are, but I think being more aware of what am I trying to accomplish by doing this, by journaling or by planning, and then making sure that you keep those goals in your mind or in front of you, so that as you're making choices in life, which we all do, choosing not to plan is a choice.
Absolutely.
And so whatever direction we choose to go is just being true to that and making sure that we are living that life. And that's I think that's what most people start planning for, is they're trying to live more fully. They're trying to live a richer life. They're not trying to just get a million things done.
Right.
And so, I mean, maybe that's not the case for everybody, but to me, that is a reason for doing it, is to de-stress part of your life, because you're not living willy-nilly with Post-it notes flying all over. Although some people effectively plan with Post-it notes.
Yes.
Go for it. But anyway, a
Yes.
long story just to say, yay you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I think it's really fun. The more I look at it, the more I just see the joy in it. And it's bringing me, I'm finding too many things I find joy in is the problem. I keep praying, Lord, make a 48-hour day. That's what I need.
That's right. Well, I have a pattern highlight.
Oh, let's hear it.
Yes. I found this beautiful pattern by Janina Kahlo Design. Kaleo, I'm sorry. Janina Kaleo. I can say it, I promise. I practiced it like 3 times last night.
She knows her ABCs.
I do. Janina Kaleo Design. And this is called Wild Heart. And it is a fingering weight shawl. I'll show you.
Oh, lovely.
And I'll show this picture because I think it shows it a little bit better. But here we go. It looks like this.
Oh, it's lovely. Oh, that's a really great shot she took, so you can really see the patterning of it.
I think that is really pretty.
It does not look complicated, but
No.
it does look interesting.
I think it would keep your interest is the benefit to it. Excuse me, Sophie. And
That's
so,
probably about as much lace as I could handle, where it's a repeating one pattern. If you get me doing more than one thing, that's a problem.
it was just published last month, and there are 66 projects. And so it's, if you're looking for something that's new and different and that hasn't already been knit 100,000 times, this is, I think, a good option for you. Because there are some people that don't want to knit the thing that's been knit,
Yeah, right.
hundreds of times already
Sure.
by everybody and their mother.
Right.
And so I think this would be a good option. It cost $5.90 euro. It wouldn't be dollars. €5.90 euro.
Maybe a random dollar price.
That's right. And
$2.98.
that's right. And $6.68. I cannot do this today. Money. It's too hard. It's hard. And let's see. It says, Wild Heart is stunning one skein wonder with modern lace and dynamic sense of movement. It is knit diagonally with garter stitch and simple lace featuring drop stitches, eyelets, and fishnet lace. The result is airy, light, and gorgeous.
And we are coming up to spring,
We are.
and so a more airy scarf is probably in order.
Yes. And so take a look at that and see if you like it. The pattern that we featured last week, the Vanilla is the New Black Sock, we are hosting a knit along in our group if you would like to join us. Our Kathy is doing one, and we have several other people who have joined us. Like we mentioned, our Kathy is already on her second sock, which I'm like amazed. So impressed with her.
I'm not joining that one.
That's okay.
I'm still working on this.
That's okay. It's all right, honey. But we'd love for you to join along. We are love to see your pictures. You can also show us your pictures on Instagram too. You can do hashtag Knitworthy podcast, and then we also are using hashtag Vanilla is the New Black, which is just the name of the pattern. And so go take a look and join us if you like. We'd love to have you. I got a private message from the designer.
What'd you say?
She was, in her words, she was gobsmacked that anybody wanted to do a knit along with that pattern.
Oh, yay.
And so she was so thrilled and so happy. And she was like, I just have to come and tell you that I saw that you're hosting a knit along, and I'm so happy. And I'm just gobsmacked. And,
Yay.
she was just really thrilled.
Where's she from?
I don't know. I can look if you want.
I would love it.
Okay.
Gobsmacked sounds like an English word to me. That's
It
why I was
kinda
wondering.
does.
I have to adopt it. I use whilst all the time now.
Yes, you do. I think you should. It's a great word. Well, let me see.
It's my ode to Christmas vacation.
Yes. you know what I need to do is I need to look up her Ravelry name.
All these important things we must find out while we're podcasting.
I know. This cannot wait. She's from Quebec.
Oh, so
yes.
She has a nice accent, don't you know?
I don't think you should do accents.
She could be French Quebec too, right?
She could.
So she could be oui oui.
Yes.
I am so good at languages.
Man, you're
Pig
awesome.
Latin.
Yes.
Knitye. I can't do Pig Latin.
You'll have to take that one off of your list of accents you can do.
I cannot put Pig Latin in the languages that I know. Mm-hmm. Do you have any more things? Because I have a couple.
I believe that's it, other than the Project Craft stuff.
Well, oops, I need to put this down so I don't ruin anything. I just wanted to mention that I have showcased several times parts of my journal that I keep. And this has also been my planner since January 1st. Started on January 1st. I hope to, in the next week, do a flip through. I'm not going to put it as part of the podcast, otherwise we'd be 3 hours long.
Yes.
But I did want to say I finished it, and I wanted people to enjoy. Now, see, I can hardly get the elastic off. I may have to put a new elastic on there. I wanted you to see a finished journal that is all puffy. This is what we're talking about in our Project Craft journals. That how fun it is to have a journal that's just jam-packed with everything that delights you. Mm-hmm. And so I did want to mention that my idea last time was to be using these cards.
Yeah. And how are you liking
index cards? That was a big fail.
Was it?
The second week, it just really was almost so small that it just escaped my mind, and it was not effective for me. Mm-hmm. So I have not set up a new calendar for after this. Mm-hmm. I'm in the process of doing some research. I'm looking into bullet journaling.
Yeah.
I also am the lucky winner. I mean, when was the last time I won something?
You won the lottery when you got me.
Right? But I won someone did a traveler's notebook cover that's made out of quilt. Does that not have my name on it?
It totally does.
And I won it on Instagram. I cannot believe it. So when it arrives, I'll be unveiling it for all you guys. I'll do a whatever they call it, unwrapping or whatever. But I'm debating whether or not I want to go into that, or whether I want to go into a moleskin, or you're so proud right now, aren't you?
That's my mother.
And then there's three I'm thinking of. Moleskine, the Lektern, I think it's a German word.
Okay.
That's another style of notebook. Mm-hmm. Or, what was the third one? Bulletjournal.com. They have formulated a notebook that is like their dream book. And you can get it dot grid paper, which I'm really enjoying using dot grid when I have used it.
Yeah.
And it's great paper apparently for fountain pens, and it's perfect for the bullet journal system. Mm-hmm. And so I have been watching. I wanted to name drop two people. Boho Berry.
Okay.
Can you get to where are we on that? Where did I put it? It's on here somewhere.
Is it at the bottom? No.
Boho Berry. And the other one I'll put right here. Two people that I started following because they do a really good job with bullet journaling, which is really an interesting way to manage the things that you need to do. Mm-hmm. But people are also incorporating, like I love to do, which is family life and journaling and ideas and things like that.
Right.
So if you're interested in learning more about bullet journaling, go to bulletjournal.com. They have an intro video that just goes over the basics. He does not do beautiful, artsy planning. So Boho, Berry, and this other one that I'll put there is ones that you can look at for inspiration for how you can make it visually beautiful along with being efficient. Mm-hmm. And so, next time, hopefully I'll have some more insight about what I want to do And hopefully I'll post a separate video that's a walkthrough of my journal. And this just makes me happy.
It's beautiful.
And I'm just happy to put it on my shelf and go, wonder what we're going to do next.
That is so fun. What else?
Well, the rest this is all Project Craft.
Okay.
So I think that's all I have.
Perfect.
Oh, I know.
What?
I did want to say, are you sure? Did you get an updated version?
I don't know.
Can you go back and refresh? Because I had a quote. I wanted to quote the lovely Dawn Wolf. She sent me a private message.
Okay.
And it really spoke to me about some of the reason why I do the journaling that I do. Mm-hmm. And we talked last time about having your journaling reflect who you are.
Yes.
And what is it that you want people to know about you, the people you love? What do you want them to know? Future generations that are wanting to look back and see, what kind of people do we come from? What do you want them to know? And obviously for me, well, I don't know if it's obvious or not, but it is on my heart that I just want to make sure, along with all the other fun things I love to do in knitting and arts and all that, that I love the Lord. Mm-hmm. You know, God is like number one in my life. And so that is a really important thing to me. And so I try to invest time every day in really getting to know him more. And I read the word and I meditate on it. And I don't I do the Zen poses. Like I'm not Dawn Wolf with my leg behind my neck meditating. Not that kind of meditating.
No.
But I try and really get it into my heart and really study it like I would when I was in school, when I really wanted to learn something. So I take it seriously.
Yeah.
And so when I journal, I am trying to utilize things that I'm already I know that I learn well with. Mm-hmm. Writing things out is one of the ways I learn.
Right.
And so she had said that her thought was that journaling becomes a written legacy of your conversations with God as he leads you through his word.
That's so great.
So I say it one more time because I thought this is really where my heart is, and that I would give that legacy of that an open conversation that I have with God, that I would leave that as a legacy to my grandchildren, to generations to come, that they would know that I had a relationship with the Creator.
Right.
And that meant something to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to read it one more time because she wrote it so beautifully. Journaling becomes a written legacy of your conversations with God as he leads you through his word. Now, if you are not a believer, you may just want to leave a legacy of something else, that maybe you have other interests, other important things to you that you want. Maybe it's your heritage, that you want to make sure people know that was important to you, or the fact that you were into helping social change, or whatever it is that's on your heart. Your journals become a written legacy. I love that.
Right.
Don't we all want to leave a legacy?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dawn, really.
Brilliant.
She could write a book.
She could.
So that was to tag along with all the journaling parts. I just hope I'm inspiring somebody to, I'm just having so much fun with it. I want you all to have fun with me. Come on. It's really fun.
Join us, you know you want to.
Okay, are we into Project Craft?
Project Craft! Yes.
Okay, Project Craft, simply stated, go visit knitworthypodcast.com. Project Craft is described there on one of the tabs on our pages.
Yes.
You can learn more about it. Join in. It's not too late. We'll do it as long as it's fun.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, Brianne, what did you do for Project Craft this week?
Well, let me find my stuff. Hello, stuff. Okay, so my challenge was number 87, which was craft something only a woman could love. Now, there are a lot of things that came to mind.
Did you go on a search? Because I bet that would have been fun.
I did kind of a search.
Tabitha from Tabitha Knits.
Yeah.
She has gotten many Ravelry messages from me with things only a woman could love.
Well, what I ended up finding was rather than doing, knitted feminine hygiene products, which was...
What do you do with it once you have it?
Exactly.
Do people use them?
I have no idea.
You should have researched that for me.
Good heavens. No. I draw a line.
What?
Yes. So this has been on my list, on my queue for a very long time of things that I want to knit. But I think this is something that only a woman could love.
Oh, yeah.
Because no man is going to wear these, I don't think.
And I will take that as my Christmas gift.
These are the Winter Rose Mittens. And
you put a picture in.
I did.
Can you believe it? Crazy.
And look, I put yarn and it hangs down a little bit.
What?
You see that?
I love it. And look at the washi tape. Looks like stitches or knit stitches or something.
Yeah, it looks like yarn
little
to me.
Pearls maybe.
Yeah. So this is what I thought. I actually wound up the yarn for them.
You're actually going to do it.
I am going to do it.
Most of my stuff is imaginary, so you're good.
So this is Cascade Heritage, which is their sock yarn. And
carefully, you're flashing a little.
Am I? Sorry. Yes, Cascade Heritage sock yarn, which is a 75% superwash merino and a 25% nylon. And I'm using the snow and denim colorways.
Love it.
So that is my plan. I, of course, had to use the same colors because these are my colors. I love the blue and I love the white.
And that's kind of into your heritage too.
Yes.
She's got a lot of Norwegian in her. And
I do.
I can see them.
Yeah.
Oofta.
That's right. And so I'm super excited.
Was that fun looking for something to fit that category?
It was. And it wasn't difficult. Mm-hmm. I thought there are a lot of things that I could knit that would be something that only a woman could love. But this was really the thing that stuck with me. Mm-hmm. And I've had this in my queue for 4 or 5 years now.
It's a good reason.
It's time.
Yeah, it's a good reason to start it.
Yeah, my knitting friends love to do...
Are they into color work?
They're into color work. Laurette is.
Oh, good.
And so she actually spent time in Norway as an exchange student, and that's where she learned to knit. So she learned to knit doing color work.
Wow.
Right? So I'm
take
super
some
excited.
pictures of your knitting meetings so that we can post that.
Yes.
Be fun.
Yeah.
I do Portuguese knitting, and it's really good for doing color work.
Is it?
For yarn management, yeah.
Awesome.
I find it very easy for that.
Yes.
Good.
So that is what I did. And what about you?
I did one entry for a very sweet letter that we got from Sharon, who is...
Elvin's Knits.
I crossed off her name.
It's right here.
Oh, okay. Elvin's Knits. I don't know how I cut that off. Anyway, because we talked last time that I'm using, it was actually a note for Brianne, but I steal her notes. It's okay. It's all good. But I thought it was so sweet, and it really came at a time we had been, it's like I always debate. There's podcasts that are really, big and doing big numbers, and so going, I don't know. And you see that long list from Two Tangled Skeins.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm always evaluating, going, I just don't know, what we should be doing. And so to get a note in that was very, very comforting and reassuring, I thought, well, okay. Elvin's Knits, it's because of you we're here today. Don't feel any pressure. So that was really fun to get that in there. But mine was, I got number 10, do hard things. Mm-hmm. There's my layout of my page. I'll have a picture on the back. At the end of the podcast, I should say. And, I had such good intentions of picking up a lace thing. Mm-hmm. I can't.
Can't even pick it up.
Can't even. I'm almost tempted to pull out Multnomah and just pull the yarn out and make socks or a Sockhead hat.
Well, you know what? That's something you could do.
I don't know. I think I might. Just because it's really, now that I look at the bag, it's like, I'm like,
oh, you don't want that.
And so I decided instead that I would tackle something else that I have no negative feelings with yet. But have you ever looked at Zentangle?
Yes.
Okay, my thoughts when I first saw it were, that is so intricate and complicated. Who does that kind of thing? I just couldn't picture ever doing it. Now, when I was in 6th grade, I did do, I guess would be equivalent to like the idea of a mandala, where you have the sections and you repeat patterns. And I had that up in the closet of the house I grew up in until, I don't know, like 2000 or something. And so I had done that idea of repetitive patterns, but the Zentangle thing, I thought, well, that's just too, I'm just not going to do that. So I thought, you know what, it came up in an Instagram feed, I think is where it started, and I thought, you know, maybe I should look into it. Maybe it's not a big deal. So of course I went straight to YouTube and watched a bazillion videos. And if you want to get an introduction into it, you go to zentangle.com. Who thought that name up, right? But that is what I tried. I did a You Are Knitworthy Zentangle for my book. There. And I tried to duplicate knit stitches and a ball of yarn at the top. So
Very
fun.
pretty.
Do you see how small the tile is there, Brianne? Here, I'll show you now.
Yes.
So the tile is, oh, I always hit my microphone. The tile is like 4 inches square. Zentangle, I'm going to give you in just a couple easy steps.
Okay.
All right. So maybe you might want to try it.
Okay.
Super relaxing.
Yes.
Okay. Not scary. After all, go figure. First step, you get a 4x4 piece of paper. If you don't have that, you know, any kind of notebook paper doesn't matter. But you're working in a 4-inch square. Some people like to work bigger. Do whatever. There's no rules in Zentangle, they say.
Thank goodness.
So the second thing is you take a pencil, you put a dot in the 4 corners of the tile, and then you just draw a loose square. They don't even want you to stress about a straight line.
Oh, good.
Don't use a ruler.
Good.
Forget it.
I can't draw straight lines, so that's perfect.
Then you draw a few squiggles, or they call them strings.
Okay.
And they are the areas that you are going to be using to fill in pattern, but they are just guidelines. You can ignore them completely. Is this not totally something meant for me?
Yeah.
You have rules, but you can bend them or ignore them. Love it. So this is what I combined I like combining the words, which is the lettering that I've been doing, with the idea of the patterns. The patterns are based on simple strokes. That's what I did over here. Okay? So the idea is each tangle is supposed to only be like a simple, like have repeating circles or lines or arches or a teardrop or a V or a square. You know, there are other simple shapes. Can you do those shapes, Brianne?
I think so.
Okay. So if you can do that, and if you have a hand to hold a pencil, and I saw people who had really maybe they had rheumatoid arthritis. People are doing this who are bedridden and want something to do, and you get kind of zoned in, like you do for me when I'm in a good stretch of garter. Oh yeah. Right?
Yes.
There's nothing in the world that can hurt you when you're in good garter land.
That's right.
And Zentangle is along that line. They're using it in schools for dexterity. They're finding a lot of kids, because they do so much work with computers and less hand work, that by the time they're 8 or 10 years old, that they're still they're not anymore able to cut a straight line with scissors, because they kind of leave those skills behind them.
Yeah.
And so I loved it.
Well,
I loved
good.
it so much.
Tell us. Bring it on.
Of course, I obsessed. I won't go into how I made the books, but I made 2 books. This book holds my completed Zentangles. I will post at the end the ones I worked on this week, okay? But these hold the completed Zentangles. I just glue the tile in there when I'm done, because I thought it would be so fun just to be able to look back through them. And then this book, I started keeping track of the patterns that I learned. Now, I started looking through, I used Pinterest. You look up Zentangle anywhere, you're going to get a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
But what you want to do is just look up individual tangle patterns, and they have step-by-step how to do them. So I practiced each one. I've done almost the whole notebook full.
Serious?
And now I'm going to turn it around and do the back sides.
Oh, yeah.
And so then you just pick one tangle, like... let's say, let's try to pick one. Okay, well, let's say this one. That's one tangle. So you say, okay, I want to do that one tangle, and then you fill in a spot on your card, and then you pick another tangle and fill in another spot on the card with that. So it's done one stroke at a time.
Yeah.
And they're I'm trying to remember exactly what their theme is, but it's anything can be done one step at a time or one stroke at a time, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I liked that idea. And don't we need that in knitting, right?
Yes.
You can accomplish a big project as long as you're thinking one stitch at a time, right?
Right.
And you get big things done. You have beautiful sweaters to show for it. So if you want a little something that's to add variety to your crafting life, I sure enjoyed it.
Wonderful.
Yay for Project Craft.
Yay.
And honestly, I have to say, were it not for this challenge, I wouldn't have tried it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
my husband's so thrilled I've got another activity.
One more thing, honey. Just one more thing.
That's it. I'm trying to see if I had anything else.
Is that it?
I think so.
Okay. Well, we need to draw our next projects. Do you have your phone with you?
Mm-mm.
No.
Can you look up? I don't know if I can reach it.
Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't prepared.
Linda, what are we going to do with you?
All right, so this is the point in our show where we pick the challenges for next time. You may join us and do the same challenges with us, or you may choose your own, or you can do random number generator yourself.
Okay. You want this one or do you want me to take this one?
Let's start with you. Well, let me do first because it
Okay.
seems like the second number is always the same.
Okay. Number 80. Research the cheapest place to find craft supplies.
Well, it's right up my alley.
Do you have a pen I can borrow? And I'll write your name on this?
Not today. Oh. I've got a billion. What am I talking? This is my Lamy Safari that is carrying gray Noodler's ink, which I love. It's like liquid pencil.
What is today? The 9th?
Today is the 9th.
Okay.
So I'll be sharing next time my list of cheapest places to get crafty supplies.
Yay. And I got number 11. And that is read about it. Look for references in books that refer to your favorite crafts and begin a list of favorites.
Oh, that would be fun. Do you have any off the top of your head?
Like, are you talking about like actual reference books or just like fiction?
No,
or...
I was originally, well, it can be whatever you want, but originally I was thinking about I love when I catch Agatha Christie,
Oh, yeah.
when Miss Marple's doing her knitting.
Uh-huh.
So just places in books or media where there are knitting references, or even I've seen some fun wartime photos where they are showing stars doing knitting for the troops.
Sure.
So you can expand or make this whatever you want it to
Okay.
be.
Excellent. All right.
Well, that should be fun.
Yes.
Especially since you took on a big knitting challenge this time. You don't have to knit a sofa cover or anything.
Thank goodness. I don't know that I can handle a sofa cover this week. All right.
And now we are at the point in the show where we will pick a winner, and we are choosing from what entries in the thread that's on Ravelry, our Ravelry thread for Project Craft.
Yes.
And are you choosing for the whole month of March from all of them, or just since last time?
Just since last time.
Okay.
So
So that means if you should be active every week
that's right.
if you want a chance to win.
That's right. So let me look.
Oh, how cute.
I know. So many fun things.
You guys are doing great.
Okay, so we're doing 183 to 191.
Oh, well, your chances to win are great. Oh, did you see mittens?
Yes.
What?
Okay. Oops. Let's go to the back. There we go. And the winner is number 183.
Okay, and was that a photo or was that a statement? What was it?
It is She Catch 22.
Didn't she win last time?
No, that was, I think, a couple times ago.
A couple times. Oh, she's good. She is like on a roll.
I know.
I think she won something in the Tabitha Hearts group.
Oh,
Tabitha's
did she
Heart
really?
Group. Uh-huh.
Oh, awesome. So, let's see. She's been trying to work on her hand lettering and improve on flourishes and doodles to improve my Bible art journaling. And here is her first attempt. So let me show you the things that she's been doing.
And that just shows you the wide range of things that you can do. You don't have to create some masterpiece of sculpture or whatever. You just do whatever it is that your heart desires. So
That's right.
Improving handwriting, I'm all for it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
And there's something really encouraging about looking down at the piece you've written and go, that looks good, as opposed to what it normally look like chicken scratching to me.
Yes.
It's taking the extra time to improve it is really rewarding. And I don't, a Post-it note thing is not, I don't worry about that. But
Right.
Writing a letter to someone or a card to your loved one, it's nice to have nice writing.
It is.
Yeah.
So, let's see. She says, I'm really enjoying seeing the wonderful progress y'all are making. I've actually been very busy being crafty, but don't have pictures yet. We'll share more later and look forward to seeing everyone else's. So there you go.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, give me the name again. She Crafty 22.
She Catch 22.
Who changed your name.
That's right.
She Catch.
Who is Heidi from
Yes.
Claremont, Florida.
She is the one that won the Tabitha's Heart Group contest too. You are a winner, my friend.
Man, you're on a roll.
Heidi.
Good job.
Send me a message on Ravelry with your email again, and I will get your gift card to you.
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Yay.
That's exciting. But you know what? You could be a winner too, and all it takes is having some conversation on the thread. And a comment about something that somebody else is doing still wins a prize.
That's right.
And you win either, if you've just commented, then it is a pattern of your choice under $5 from Ravelry. Or if you have included photos of something in your Project Craft Journal, you qualify for a $25 gift card.
That's right.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
We were just action-packed today.
Woo.
Running long, forgive us for that.
Yeah.
But what can we do?
That's right.
It's all good, right?
We thought that by recording once a week that we'd have less to talk about.
I know.
We have more.
I know we were shooting for like an hour and it's always more, but hopefully interesting.
Yes.
I had fun.
I had fun too.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Hope you had fun too.
Absolutely. We're so glad that you joined us today. If this was your first time watching, welcome. If this is your return, if you're a returning viewer, then we're just so thankful that you've come back and that you are watching us again and spending some time with us in our cozy little home. And we want you to remember that until next time, you are knitworthy. Bye.
Bye, y'all.